If you're drowning in a sea of conflicting IBS advice right now, probiotics, elimination diets, expensive supplements, detox teas, I see you. And I'm gonna cut through all the noise and give you a clear, simple starting point that actually works. Because the truth is, most of what you're seeing online is keeping you stuck in this symptom chasing cycle instead of actually healing. Let me guess what your Google search history looks like. Best probiotic for IBS, low FODMAP diet or meal plans, how to cure IBS naturally, IBS supplements that actually work. And every single article gives you a different answer, right? One expert says to cut out fiber, another one says to add more fiber. Someone swears by apple cider vinegar, and someone else says to avoid all acids. The probiotic aisle has 47 different options, and you have no idea which one to choose. Meanwhile, you're spending hundreds of dollars on supplements and might be making things worse, following restrictive diets that leave you afraid of food and still waking up bloated every morning. I get it. The overwhelm is real, but here's what nobody's telling you. I'm Marina, and I've spent 14 years as a functional dietitian helping women break free from the IBS maze. I've seen thousands of people get caught up in this exact trap. Information overload that leads to action paralysis. And what I've learned is that people who heal fastest aren't the ones who try everything. They're the ones who understand the right order of operations. So here's your roadmap. I call it the IBS Foundation First method. And it's the exact order I take all my clients through. The first phase is to stop the bleeding. So before you add in anything new, you need to stop doing the things that are actively making you worse. Random supplementing could be more problematic than anything else because you might not be targeting the exact areas that you need. Second, if you're Googling your symptoms at 2 o'clock in the morning and just overly researching, this can add more stress, which is going to in turn make you feel worse. And the third one is to start a simple symptom tracker. Now, I know you might think, I've done it before and it hasn't helped, I just feel lousy all the time. And that might be true, but when speaking to a specialist, they may be able to go through that pretty quickly and see anything that sticks out to them that might not be so obvious for you. So just something that will look at your bloating and, believe it or not, how quickly the bloating comes on after a meal is something that can be really important as well. Portion sizes and any major symptoms that stick out. The other option is a reverse symptom survey, where if you feel symptoms one day, you go back and record as much from memory as you can about what you ate, the quantity, and who prepared it about 24 hours before. Symptoms usually happen closer to when you eat the thing, but it can be as much as 3 days out. The next thing is we want to build a strong foundation. So a couple of things to get you started with having a good drainage through your body and your system is to make sure you're drinking plenty of water, not too much. You don't need to be drinking a gallon a day, but generally speaking, about half of your body weight in ounces. Now, a filtered water a day. If you are an athlete, then you might have more than that. You want to replace what you lost in your sweat. It's important to move your body for 30 minutes a day would be nice, or more than that. Maybe if you're running around between work and kids and family stuff, you might automatically get some movement, but you might notice the days where you're more sedentary, you tend to be more bloated. So keep an eye on that. If you don't have to necessarily be exercising after you eat, that could be a little too much for your system, but just get some walking is usually best, or even some simple yoga twists in. Prioritizing sleep, at least 7 hours if you can. I know that there's a loop. If you have IBS, you might not sleep very well and it can continue, but do your best to see if you can encourage you to get more sleep, and that will be a great starting point for helping your gut. Consider lymphatic support. So you might do dry brushing, Epsom salt foot baths, or a full bath, and even rebounding or jumping. Even jumping rope can be good. Then we want to look at deep breathing. Okay, so before meals is the most important time to center yourself and get in some deep breaths. It's more important to have an inhale for, let's say, 4 seconds. You can hold it for 7 seconds and exhale for 8 seconds. The idea is you want to have a longer exhale than an inhale, and see if you can hold it in between then also. That's going to help turn on your rest and digest mode, or your parasympathetic system. That's going to tell your body it's safe to eat right now. You can get to work making your own digestive enzymes and stomach acid and all that good stuff, so that you're not stressed out and everything's just going through your system either too quickly or too slowly. So if that makes sense, if you're stressed out when you're eating, if you're eating on the road or eating with yelling, fighting kids, then it's hard for your digestion to get in the mood and to be ready to actually digest. So if you're not priming your system with that calmness, then your body is going to have a much harder time to digest. And then we want to have, as best as possible, consistent meal times. It might be 3 meals a day. That might be a good starting point. I don't recommend snacking if you can avoid it. And I'll talk more about that in another video. Okay, chewing also is very important. So you want your food to be the consistency of applesauce by the time you're ready to swallow. And that might be different amounts of chews for different foods, but think of that so you can actually do a great job in your mouth, so that when it enters your stomach, it's a lot easier for your stomach to handle it. Then we also want to think about some other interventions that might be needed. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail because it is so highly personalized and I don't want to add more overwhelm by all the other things. So start there. My website has loads of information. I have a free training as well. My website is ibsdietitians.com, and that way you can get some free training when you're ready for the next step. I also have some bonus materials if you sign up and subscribe to my channel. So I just want to tell you briefly about a woman, Jessica, who I was working with, and she came to me with a shopping bag full of supplements, probiotics, enzymes, herbs, all different powders, and she was spending about $400 a month and getting worse. And the first thing I did was we put everything aside. Now, sometimes there might be 1 or 2 things that you like that work and that feel great, and that can be perfect. But if you're not seeing a major difference when you start taking something or when you stop taking it, then that's a sign it might not be right for you. So within just a couple of weeks, she started noticing that by working together, her bloating was fizzling away and her energy was coming back. More so than anything, she just felt more clear-minded, and having a protocol with a direct path was really helpful in not only helping her feel better mentally, but physically. I hate to say it, but when you're looking at different ads or Instagram videos, there's a lot of mistakes that people will make. And the first one is that we might be trying to fix everything all at once. Your body can't handle 15 new things at once. And the next thing is that sometimes we try to chase other people's success stories. So just because somebody had great results on this one supplement, it doesn't mean that's going to be the thing that helps you. The next mistake, number 3, is impatience. So you didn't develop IBS overnight, and it's not going to heal overnight. But the chances are, if you're able to get on a protocol that's direct, specialized towards you, then you're going to be able to see results within a matter of weeks, lasting results. And the 4th mistake that I see a lot is that people skip the foundation. They go right towards parasite cleanse or probiotics. And those are really the things that I look at down the road. There are so many other things that are much more important and dire that need to be addressed first. So here's your homework. Look into some of those suggestions that I made. Check out my training. And if you want to subscribe and get a free Eating for IBS guide, go ahead. And I'm here for any questions and further support.